Second time. Hi, everybody. How are you? This is Richard back with another episode of our live sessions, our weekly talk we do with an interesting guest, really to give you English learners some experience, some listening practice. And usually we try and talk about some tips, some ways you can maybe learn English, but also maybe some different ways that you can. Sorry, I'm just going to invite this person. Maybe some ways that you can learn English, but also some other tips as well. And we've got a very interesting guest. Learns English to such a good level that they actually teach English nowadays in their country. So we will get some really good tips, I'm sure, plus some other interesting things that I would like to talk about. So any second, our guest should arrive. And as I mentioned before, guys, don't forget to check out my YouTube as well. You can check out the link in the bio on my page. And without further ado, I believe we have Mayra right here. Mayra, how are you?
Hey there. How are you, Richard?
I'm great. I'm great. How's your day going?
So great. I'm nervous, you know?
Oh, don't be nervous. It's fine. You don't need to be nervous at all. So
Yeah,
please,
I try to think about that.
introduce yourself to everybody. Tell everybody about yourself.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I'm from Argentina. I'm an English time. I don't know what to say. I love English, you know, and I love this connectivity benefits we're having through this COVID time because I'm getting to know a lot of interesting people as Richard. So you ask me. I don't know what to say.
All right. So I've got a few questions for you today. You speak English really well. Tell me a little bit about how you learn English. Did you teach yourself? Did you go to school and learn it?
Yeah, I've been thinking a little bit about my process, you know, and I have studied English since I was 4 years old, maybe. When I went to kindergarten, I started there, right? In Argentina, at that time, schools didn't offer English as a normal subject, you know. Only for private schools did it, but not public ones. Well, I started there, and I still remember some songs and activities. It's fun because they get so into my brain, you know, which made me like and feel interested on this interesting and wonderful language. Then I have studied my whole life. I went to a private institute. I sat for the first certificate, Cambridge exam. I don't know. And then I went to the teacher's training course. So I have attended those different situations with English, which helped me to learn and, of course, the way how to teach other people, because it's not only about learning, right? You need to know how to help, how to transmit, and how to teach somebody to get this process through in a good way. You know, it's sometimes English, I found it as mathematics, you know, people normally don't like it. It happens the same with English because they don't have good experiences. They found it boring sometimes. And I want to show them that it's not boring at all. It can be actually way fun. And you can speak English using and talking about whatever you're interested, right? Like, you like music? We can talk about music in English. Do you like films? We can talk about films in English. Whatever. Do you like sports? Okay, let's talk about sports. So it's way varied, and we can make it fun.
Great, very good. What are some of the common mistakes that you hear from Spanish speakers who are learning English? Every language group makes their own mistakes. What errors do Spanish speakers make?
You mean like grammar mistakes, things like that?
Things like
Or
SH pronunciation is normally a problem, right?
yeah,
That's
of
one.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, pronunciation it's a common mistake that we can find, I guess, in any language, right? For example, in Argentina, we have a strong ra. We said, for example, guitar. In Spanish, it's guitarra, ra. It's quite strong, so it's quite normal to find people that says ra or sha. It has a strong pronunciation.
So.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Or for example, that's when I started doing my videos, short videos, trying to show common mistakes. And the the tongue between the teeth. And we don't use this letter, right? So I'm all the time showing my tongue to everybody. Put it right here, put it like this. But well, it's funny, but they tend to remember my advices in a fun way, right?
You mainly teach children, is that right?
Not only children's, but mainly, I have. It's a quite varied range. I guess it's from 6, and the oldest is 70.
All right. Okay. So.
Yeah, it's a variety range of ages, but yeah, I work a lot with kids because I teach in schools also, not only as a private tutor, also in schools. So we work a lot with kids, with teenagers, which are not the same. They do not have the same interests. They do not have the same attention, right? They don't have the children give you more opportunities to if they want to know, you can like them, you can have good relationship with them. Maybe with teenagers you have to be different and talk about different with their own language, right?
Okay.
I'm always focused on that. I think that it's important to know who you're talking with and try to speak the same language, despite English, of course. But try to speak their own language. Like nowadays, I'm playing some PlayStation games and computer games. Okay, so we can talk about Minecraft, maybe, or Free Fire. I'm not good at any of those games, don't worry. But at least I can talk with them about it. And they feel, yeah, they can find something in common with you, so you can get closer.
Nowadays, a lot of the lessons are online, of course, and I've seen some videos you've put where a lot of it's on Zoom and or something like that. I teach adults online, and it's really not a problem with adults, but I imagine is it quite difficult with kids?
I don't find it difficult at all. We play a lot. It's important to play. It's important to keep their attention. It's not the same as an adult. They tend to get bored easier. So I used a lot of videos, short stories, games. We play with colors, with numbers, with action verbs, stand up, sit down, open your eyes, close your eyes, shut your mouth. I don't know, things like that. We watch a lot of videos. Thanks to these COVID times, I started teaching online, because before I used to do it in person, by face to face. And at least here in my country, not all students have computers, not all students have devices where to watch videos or do online exercises. So now that we are having this opportunity, I'm using it a lot because at the same time we can watch the same short film, the same
Mhm.
activity, and they are so. This is so much closer to them than a book. You know,
Yeah, I think so.
books
We need
are
to.
so old for them. Yeah, photocopies and book. Nobody wants that no long. Like they feel like they can use what it normally it's forbidden,
Mhm.
but they are learning and they are having fun and they are using it in a different way, not only as um, to spend their time playing games.
That's
So I
great.
found this very, yeah, I'm happy with this opportunity. We have to see
So you
the
teach,
optimistic side of things.
of course, of course. So you teach kids, you teach adults, and all that information can be found on your page, right? On which we'll put a link of your
Yeah,
page.
yeah, you can contact me by direct message,
Mhm.
and I can send information.
Perfect.
My courses are get adapted to according to the person, their age, their English level, right? Because not everybody knows the same. Not everybody, of course, as we said at the beginning, right? Not kids are not the same as teenagers or adults, so they shouldn't be together in a same class. Despite this Halloween, we have been together in a special
Yeah,
class.
you seem to really get enthusiastic for Halloween.
I am. Oh, sorry, my dog's barking a lot. Can you just give me a
Okay,
second? I wasn't counting
go
with
for it.
this.
That's okay.
All right. All right, I'm here. Sorry about it.
It
We
sounds
were
like
talking about Halloween.
it sounds
What?
like you have a very dog.
Oh, he's quite intense, you know.
So yeah, we were
He
talking
barks everything that moves.
about, all right. Well, it's a good guard dog then. So
Oh
yeah, we were
yeah, he's a
talking
good
about Halloween.
guardian.
Tell me a little bit about what you did with students to celebrate Halloween.
Well, we celebrated the full week. I've been working with
Hmm.
them because in Argentina it's not a tradition to celebrate
Right.
Halloween. It's not part of our culture.
Hmm.
And we have, first of all, I have to tell them what was Halloween about, right?
Hmm.
The origins, or at least an idea, not only the jack-o'-lantern, right? So they need to know something else. And I found Halloween a good opportunity to gain new vocabulary, right?
Hmm.
Because not only zombies and monsters, we can play with this, for example, with a skeleton or with a Frankenstein, and we can learn part of the body, part of the face, um, in a fun way. We can learn a lot of songs. Well, we did it, and this full week was the Hallow week, as I call it.
All right.
Yeah, so fanatic about it. It was the
It's
Hallow
also
week, and at the end, yeah, tell me.
it's also quite a good activity for higher level students, maybe to do some story writing as well.
Yeah, some short stories on Edgar Allan Poe or Stephen
Oh,
King.
I
Interesting,
was really high.
interesting
That's
short
great.
stories. Yeah, the
Okay.
Black Cat is a good one. It's a famous Black Cat or the Monkey's Paw. I don't know if
Oh
you remember that one.
no,
You haven't.
I'll
You
check.
should read it.
I'll use it. I'll use it for next year. All
Yeah,
right.
it's a classic. So by
Cool.
the end of Halloween, this Saturday, we had this special class with costumes and special activities with
Okay.
songs, with films, with vocabulary, teamwork, and we had a champion team. We also chose the best costume. It was
Uh-huh.
quite fun, and they all share a good moment together. I love
That's
that,
fun.
the energy that we could generate.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
important.
Have you celebrated Halloween?
Well, no, because I live in France and we're not allowed outside nowadays, so
Oh,
nobody
right.
really celebrates it. So
Not even in your
next
apartment, your house? Oh, yeah.
year, no, not really.
No,
But next
not
year
this time.
I'll go big next year. Don't worry. Um,
All right.
so you live in Argentina. Tell us a bit about Argentina. I've got a few friends who visited, but I guess a lot of people watching they've maybe not visited. It's so far away for a lot of people. So tell us a bit about the place.
Yeah, it depends where you live in, right? It's the distance.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's a beautiful country. Argentina, it's a beautiful country. It's quite big, and you can find different landscapes and sightseeings. You can,
Hmm.
if you go to the north of Argentina, you will have mountains.
Hmm.
If you go to the west, also, but snow. If you go to the
Hmm.
south, you can visit whales. You can see
Uh-huh.
whales in the ocean
Uh-huh.
or glacier. If you go to the east, you can have some waterfalls, which are part of the marvelous from the world.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how to say. It's one of the seven wonders.
Like the
Wonders.
wonder, it's one of the natural wonders of the world, I think you'd
Yeah,
say.
exactly. Yeah, and
Great.
it's beautiful for sure. I always, when I have friends, I love talking with people around the world, and I love having friends because I love getting to know different cultures, and I always invite them to visit my country. It has terrible economic problems, yes, it does, but
Hmm.
uh, you can see so much in only a country. It's big and it's beautiful, and people. It's good people. I like to. It was so false. They are naming there at the comments. Yes, Bruna, the it was so false. Hi, Georgina. Oh, I just realized people disconnected.
Yeah, no. And where do you live in Argentina? Do you live in the city? Do you live in Buenos Aires?
I live in Buenos Aires. Oh yeah, Celeste, nice. Hello. I live in Buenos Aires, but not in the capital city, which is
Right.
Capital Federal. I live actually really close from the airport,
Hmm.
uh, so from the international airport, and it's like 30 minutes from the capital city.
Hmm.
And it's quite different from the city. If you go to Capital, you can find a lot of buildings, which actually they call Buenos Aires the South American France. I don't know if you have
Okay.
heard that before.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
somebody told
because
me that.
buildings, structures, the design of the structures, right?
Hmm.
I have never been in France before. Someday, I
Oh,
hope so.
one
But
day.
yeah, inshallah, said Arab people. Inshallah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hope. I hope so. But well, everybody says that people who come visit, uh, they like Buenos Aires. It has quite cultural, many cultural activities.
One thing I saw,
It never.
I watched something once about Buenos Aires, and one
Have you
experience
been in
that
Buenos Aires
was
before?
recommended. No, I've never been, but
Oh.
I watched a report about it. And one thing you should definitely do is go and watch Boca Juniors River Plate.
Boca
Derby,
Juniors,
right?
not River.
Oh, River.
Yeah, Boca, of course.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I know it's very famous. Boca Juniors. It has, well,
Mhm.
also River Plate. There are very famous teams around the world.
Uh-huh.
I don't know why, but we are very passionate. People
Mhm.
go to these places and they scream and they cry. They're so fanatic. They feel it so deep in their heart. I
Mhm.
admire that. I
Yeah.
understand people's passion. It's okay. And they have a lot of fun and with their friends all together, not during these times, of course, not
Yeah.
pre-COVID times, of course. But yeah, it's very famous, and I know that people normally visit uh, Boca and these
Well, that's
places,
cool.
these
It's good to
stadiums.
be. It's good to have a hobby and be passionate about something. And actually,
Of
you have
course.
you have a very interesting, well, hobby, not even more than a hobby, right? Because you teach it as well. Tell us about this.
Yeah, you mean my artistic side?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah, I've been dancing for 14, 15 years maybe.
Hmm.
I'm a belly dance teacher and a
Right.
professional dancer. And I that's why I say I can understand passions, because I have found love with this artistic side, with dancing.
Hmm.
And I can't explain it. This is something that I can't explain. You feel it or you don't.
Hmm.
And it's very important to have something that you like and something that moves your soul, right?
Hmm.
It can be sports, it can be art, it can be wherever you want. But I always recommend people to, if they haven't found it yet, try to look for your passion. Try to have something that makes you feel alive. That's what happened to me with dancing, and also with English.
So did you start with belly dancing, or did you start with another type of dancing and then you kind of found you were more interested in belly dancing?
Mm, I realized I have been dancing my whole life,
Hmm.
but not as a professional thing, right?
Hmm.
And well, I went to professional schools, and then I got graduated from there. No, I have never stopped. I have never stopped. You never, in any activity that you do, you never stop learning, nor in English or dancing or whatever. I think that we can always keep on learning, and we should keep on doing it. It's quite wide, actually. When you start getting more and more deep in
Hmm.
in one thing, okay, you see there is more and more and more to learn about, and it's so interesting. Belly dancing in particular, it's part of our
Hmm.
culture, of Arabic culture. It's not something that it's an invention or something that is only part from the past. It's
Hmm.
it's alive. It's an alive culture. So you are learning all the time what's going on in Lebanon, or what's going on in Egypt, or what's going on
Okay.
in some of these places. So you never stop learning.
Yeah, that's really
But it's
interesting. And it's a
beautiful.
good way. It's a good way of sharing with other cultures. You mentioned before you're really interested in meeting and talking to people from different places and different cultures. So that's just another part of that, isn't it? So that's really cool.
Yeah, and you know what? Thanks. I could get some friends. I could learn a lot thanks to English,
Uh-huh.
because of English, because that's the universal language, as everybody says. And I have friends which are from Iraq, from India, from
Uh-huh.
well, as I told you, this Egypt, whatever, and we all speak in English. We
That's
are not
great.
talking not in Spanish or Arabic or whatever.
Uh-huh.
We all speak in in English. So I'm quite thankful to this opportunity I have to learn this beautiful language. It's a good it's a door that opens, and well, you have a lot of things to find.
Well, it's a nice group activity as well because when you're doing dancing, you're with other people, and it's important to do that, especially now. A lot of people are at home a lot, but it's important to go out. And I know there's risks with the virus, but it's important to kind of spend time with other people as well, even if it's just virtually at the moment. But it definitely is a big thing for mental health, I think. So yeah,
Mm,
people should like that. And I think as well, it's just fun to try something new. So if you've never done anything like dancing before
for
or even
example.
Arabic, just try it and you'll find that there's lots of other people doing similar things and there's a big support network out there. So that's really good. I wanted to ask you something else as well because I know, especially at the moment, people are maybe losing jobs and stuff. And I know a lot of people who are non-native speakers, but they speak English pretty well, and they might look at going into something like online teaching, which you can kind of get into. What advice would you have for anybody who is at probably like a high B2 C1 level of English, and they want to look at starting teaching the language? You've done it, so what would you recommend?
I think it's important to never stop learning. That's the first and the most important thing. I think, I guess. Never stop learning. To be sure if you really like teaching, because being a teacher for real, it takes patience, it takes love a lot. It requires some characteristics, right? You have to be quite I don't know, open to your students. You have to bring and to give part of you to your students, and that's energy that comes. You give energy and it comes back for sure, multiplied. But be sure that you want to teach, or at least, well, try. If you want to do the experience, do it, but use good books where to have the planification. What are you going to teach? What these topics that you're teaching, what are the purpose, and how to put them into practice. Try to use the full skills of a person, right? Listening, reading, writing, word speaking. Don't focus only in one. For example, I receive many students who say, hey, Mayra, I want to learn English, but I don't want to write. I don't care about writing or reading. I just want to talk. Okay, and how do you want to do that if you don't read or if you don't write? In my case, you can focus more in one of those sides, but you need to do the full thing, right? At least that's what I think. I don't know. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think I think for a lot of people, speaking probably is the thing that they do the most, or they want the most from it. But definitely things like reading and writing, it's going to help your speaking because it's going to help your vocabulary. And listening's such an important skill. You really should focus on that as well. Do you only teach English? And dancing. Do you teach Spanish? Sí,
no,
yo
I don't.
habla español. Can I take classes with you? You should teach Spanish as well.
Oh, well, we can have some Spanish sharing, yeah. But no, I don't dare to teach Spanish. I have heard that it's quite it's more difficult than English. We have more tenses.
Right.
Yeah, personal pronouns and tense. I don't know Spanish, you know. Just kidding. No, but I'm focused on English.
That's why, guys watching, that's why sometimes it's good to take a lesson to take English lessons with someone like Mayra, because she's not a native speaker, but she learned the language, so she knows the grammar and things probably better than most English teachers, to be honest. So sometimes it's beneficial to take lessons from someone who's a non-native, I think, because they've learned it and they know the process of it. So I think that's an important thing.
For sure, I don't feel ready or in conditions to teach my own language, you know. I must admit it, but that's part of the question you asked me before. Be sure that you are well prepared to teach. Don't do things just by improv. Just be ready. If you want to do it, okay. Study, prepare yourself, have your planification, have your books, have your exercises for students. Be sure the levels, be sure the purpose of your lessons, and be sure that you like to do it, because you need to have fun while what you do during teaching, right? If you are not happy, if you're not full with what you do, what's the purpose, right? It doesn't make sense. You need to feel happy with what you do. At least that's what I do. I only work on what I like to do. I don't work in things that I don't like to do.
That's the
Yeah.
best way, because if you like it, you're going to do a better job at it. Now, I'm going to put your link in the chat for the talk. People who are going to
Great.
follow you, what can they expect from your page? What are they going to see in the next few days and weeks and months?
All right, you're gonna make me work. Okay. Well, I try to talk about these common mistakes. I normally upload some videos about common mistakes, trying to improve them. And I also share information about some different tenses, or I make some games, some multiple choice games, or some videos like that. But if they are interested in learning English, they can get in contact with me for sure. The thing is that I'm a Spanish English speaker. I don't know if I could teach to another language. Right?
Oh, I think, one of the other Latin languages should be okay.
Yeah, Latin American, of course. I've been talking with a girl who's living in New Zealand for a long time. Then she moved to Canada, and she was teaching English to Chinese people.
Okay.
And I asked her, of course, hey, do you know Chinese? No, I don't. Oh my God, how in the world can you do something like that? I can't imagine trying to communicate without knowing the second language. How we getting well with signs and non-speaking language.
I was an English teacher in South Korea, and I speak no Korean.
Have you?
And yeah, it worked out.
Oh my God. You should please tell me something about it. Share that with us.
People understand. You find, what you always find is and you'll find this, learners, when you're speaking English, sometimes you'll find it difficult, but then when there's just no option other than to speak English, you'll find a way. For example, I speak Russian, not great. Like, my Russian's not really that good, but it's okay. But I always find when I speak with my teachers, or I speak with somebody who knows English, it's not very good, because I can always go, I don't know this word. What's this word? But then when I go to somewhere like Moscow, or if I have a new student who speaks no English, or like this much English, I find that I have to speak Russian, and it's the only way we can communicate. And I find it's always much better, because I stop worrying about making mistakes, because the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is just to transmit an idea, and it's always much better. So sometimes it's a fairly good method. I don't know if it's a good method for people who have no level, but I really think anyone from like a B1 level up, you could actually benefit from taking a lesson with somebody who doesn't speak your native language. I think that could be quite beneficial for people. So
it would be interesting to have that experience. I will look for something like that to live. It's quite interesting. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, it was
it's a new challenge.
Exactly.
Like it. Right. Necessities is what makes you change and do things that you have never even imagined you could do. I know that's true, for sure. I have friends who came from state to Argentina for 2 years, maybe, and they haven't known anything about Spanish, and they learn it at the street, because they need to buy something. They need to go to a hospital. They need to go to the bank. So they have their curiosity or their necessity. It's what makes them learn. That's true. For sure.
When you need to learn, you'll learn, and when you're in that situation and you need to communicate, you'll find a way. So yeah.
I have heard another teacher, and I like the things that she said. It was like, don't feel so, at least when you're learning, not when you're teaching maybe, but when you're learning, don't feel so pressured about the correct pronunciation, the correct grammar production, the correct word. Try to communicate. try to, I always say to my students, hey, you don't know how to say, I don't know, you don't know how to say cup, right? Okay, say something similar, or, well, it's a bowl where you put tea in it to drink. It's something that helped me to understand what you want me to, what you want to say to me, and that will be good enough to understand, to communicate. Then we have time to improve, for sure. That at least to start, not for the rest of the speaking process.
Background, but first it's a method of communication, isn't it? So we're just trying to share and exchange with people. All right, we are out of time because I've got to go now. But Mayra, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
It's really
you.
Interesting chat.
Thank you. It's
definitely.
Sorry, I don't stop talking. Thank you. I was saying that I really, it's a pleasure for me to be talking with you. I love your page, your Insta. I follow you on Instagram. I love what you do, the information you share, the way you communicate it, the way you teach English. And for sure, I love getting to know people around the world. And I know it's thanks and because of English. So I'm really happy about this.
Great, cool. Well, let's organize another one for in a few weeks, and we'll talk about something else.
Whenever
and we'll find
want.
an interesting subject to talk about. Okay. Thanks very much.
All right. Thank you.
Have a good week.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.